I believe that we're harming our children. I believe that there's a mental health crisis in part because of the way we manage our schools and because of the way we assess their performance. Our modes of assessment are derived from Cartesian philosophy, which René Descartes, hyper-rationalistic. Our modes of teaching are derived from Jean-Jacques Rousseau, romanticism, almost irrationalistic, emotional, gut-driven. Our modes of textbook, I have a hard time figuring out where our textbooks come from, but I think they're just management theory, which is sort of Cartesian, but also Baconian. They're governed by management theory. And then our modes of governance just come from Machiavelli. And so what we have is four very, very different philosophies that govern the four main elements of the school. They're incoherent. Now, the problem with that, more than anything else, is that when the transaction takes place that makes education what it is, by which I mean when the teacher talks to the student, what that teacher does then is funnels all those contradictions through his or her own instruction into the soul of the child, who has no idea that's what's happening. And that soul now has to carry through its life all those contradictions, or has to figure out how to reconcile them, which is way beyond the capacity of any child I've ever met. And so this notion of coherence, which really takes us back to the Logos, doesn't it? This notion of coherence is we have to make sense. We have to have a harmony between the different elements of our activities. It's bad management, if I can put it that way, to manage things so precisely that there's no coherence to it, that it's fragmented and broken up that way. And I think there's mental health issues among teachers. In kids, it's manifested in anxiety, misbehavior, and so on. In teachers, it's manifested in the fact that very few teachers make it past the 7th year as a teacher. They burn out so fast on teaching.
Yeah, that's happening here too.
Absolutely. And management theory would say, if you have that high a level of statistical breakdown, you should examine why. Just ask, because they'll tell you, I can't handle the incoherence. I can't handle the administrative load you're placing on me. I got into education because I love children, and you're making me push forms left and right, and I can't teach anymore. That's what they'll tell you. They're squeezed. They're professionally in danger from their administration, and they're physically in danger from their students. That leads to teachers burning out and leaving the profession. And that's why I think we're reaching a world historical moment in managerial practice. I think we've hit the limit in some sense. I don't know maybe the pandemic was the crossing point, or maybe it's coming, but we've hit a limit in the precision of management that we can apply. Every time there's a crisis, we think we can manage our way out of it. We can database our way out of it. We can research our way out of it. Well, research is post facto, right? It's like accounting. It can tell you how you did last year. I grant you that it can help you anticipate, but it can't tell you what's going to be coming. And in a similar way, the research-based notion of education, research is important, but you can't base education on it because you're only dealing with what's already happened. We need principles. We need humanism. We need coherence. We need piety for the teacher. And we need logocentrism in order to restore the souls of the teachers, the souls of the students, and I'll go even further and say the souls of the families.